At the heart of the biblical narrative, Benjamin stands out as an intriguing and meaningful character. The youngest son of Jacob and Rachel, his story is marked by events that shaped not only his life, but also the trajectory of Israel. From his birth, shrouded in pain, to his crucial role in reuniting with his brother Joseph, every detail reveals layers of emotion and lessons. But who really was Benjamin? Why does his name carry such significant weight? The Bible mentions little about his life, but the clues left in the texts invite us to delve into his essence. Over generations, the tribe of Benjamin emerged as one of the most valiant, and this is no coincidence. Benjamin's relationship with his father, the protection he received, and his role in Joseph's story show us much about family dynamics and the challenges faced. How did these events shape the identity of a nation? And what lessons can we learn from his journey? Prepare to discover the depth of Benjamin's story and how it resonates to this day. Birth and meaning of the name. Benjamin, an emblematic figure in the Bible, was born in a context full of intense emotions. He was the son of the beloved Rachel, Jacob's favored wife. Benjamin's original name, Benoni, carries significant weight, as it means son of my sorrow. This name choice reflects not only the joy of birth, but also the deep sadness surrounding it. Rachel, during childbirth, faced complications that led to her death. Thus, the name Benoni encapsulated the love and sorrow that coexisted in that moment. After the birth, Jacob, in a gesture of love and protection, decided to rename the boy to Benjamin. This new name can be interpreted in two ways: son of my right hand, or son of the south. The change symbolized not only a new life, but also a new position within the family. By becoming Benjamin, the boy was no longer just a son, but the favorite son of Jacob after the loss of Joseph, who was believed to be dead. This transition in identity is a powerful illustration of family dynamics and the importance that names have in reflecting status and condition within a lineage. Beyond its meaning, the name Benjamin carries a symbolism of hope and rebirth. Jacob, in choosing a name that emphasized strength and closeness, sought to give his son a future that contrasted with the pain of losing Rachel. Benjamin would not just be a reminder of tragedy, but also a symbol of continuity and family love. Thus, his name would become a legacy filled with significance over generations. From the beginning, Benjamin's story is marked by these dualities. He is not just a son, but a testimony to the love and pain that defined his origin. This emotional complexity is a recurring theme in biblical narratives, where characters often face the tension between joy and sorrow. Benjamin, therefore, represents this intersection, where life emerges not only from celebrations, but also from significant losses. The story of Benjamin teaches us, therefore, the importance of names and origins. Each name carries a story, a connection to the past, and a hope for the future. Reflecting on the meaning of Benjamin, we are reminded of how our identities are shaped by our family history and the experiences that surround us. Family position and Jacob's preference. As the youngest son of Jacob, Benjamin held a unique position in the family dynamics. After the supposed death of Joseph, who was Jacob's favorite son, the patriarch's attention turned entirely to Benjamin. This shift in preference was not just a matter of love, but also a reflection of the pain Jacob felt over the loss of a son. Thus, the relationship between Jacob and Benjamin strengthened, becoming an even more precious bond amidst tragedy. Jacob's preference for Benjamin can be seen as a way to compensate for the pain he had endured. Benjamin, being the only surviving child of Rachel, the wife he deeply loved, became the focus of his affection and protection. This relationship could stir jealousy among the brothers, especially considering the already tense family context. Benjamin's presence as the youngest and most beloved son heightened the rivalry among the brothers, creating a complex family environment. Moreover, Benjamin's position as the youngest son carries symbolic weight. In the culture of the time, younger sons were often seen as less experienced, but Benjamin, due to the situation, became a symbol of hope and continuity. He represented the future of Jacob's lineage and the legacy that would continue from his mother, Rachel. This expectation placed on Benjamin's role in the family added a layer of pressure, as he was not just a boy, but a legacy. The interactions between Benjamin and his brothers are also noteworthy. Although he became Jacob's favorite, this did not mean that his life was free of challenges. Benjamin grew up in an environment where rivalry and competition were constant. The older brothers, who previously enjoyed Jacob's attention, now had to deal with the new dynamics brought by Benjamin's presence. This family tension shaped his character and future relationships. Benjamin's position in Jacob's family reflects the complexities of family relationships. He was not just a son, but a symbol of love, loss, and rivalry. The way Jacob related to him and how his brothers reacted to this new dynamic teaches us about the influence that family context has on the formation of identity and personal relationships. Rachel's death. Rachel's death during Benjamin's birth is one of the most tragic events in biblical history and carries profound symbolism. Rachel, who had struggled to have children, finally gave birth to the long-awaited son, but paid the highest price for it. The pain of losing a mother at a moment of joy is a recurring theme in literature and narratives, and in Benjamin's case, this duality is particularly acute. Jacob's mourning for Rachel's death certainly had a significant impact on Benjamin's life. From his birth, he was wrapped in a mantle of sadness and loss, even though he was also a symbol of hope for Jacob. The name Benoni, meaning son of my sorrow, reflects this reality. Little Benjamin unknowingly carried in his name and existence the mark of the pain his mother endured. This leads us to reflect on how our parents' experiences shape our own lives and identities. Furthermore, Rachel's death brought new meaning to Benjamin's role within the family. He was not just the youngest son, he became a constant reminder of Rachel's loss and the fragility of life. This new reality turned Benjamin into a symbol of continuity, a direct link between Jacob's love and Rachel. Jacob's relationship with Benjamin, therefore, was imbued with nostalgia, making every moment even more precious. The tragic event also highlights life's vulnerability and the inevitability of loss. Benjamin grew up in an environment where pain and joy were intertwined. The absence of his mother shaped not only his identity, but also how he would relate to others. This experience may have influenced his ability to emotionally connect with his brothers and, later, with the challenges he would face throughout his life. In summary, Rachel's death was not just a personal tragedy, but an event with repercussions that echoed throughout the family narrative. How Benjamin dealt with the loss of his mother and how it affected his relationship with Jacob and his brothers is a reflection on the complexity of human emotions and family dynamics. Benjamin's story, therefore, is a powerful reminder of life's fragility and the strength we find in the continuity of our family bonds. Reunion with Joseph in Egypt. Benjamin's reunion with his brothers in Egypt is one of the most emotional moments in the biblical narrative. After years of separation and anguish, he becomes a key figure in the family's reconciliation. Benjamin, who was just a child when his brothers sold Joseph into slavery, now finds himself at the center of a complex plot. Joseph, who had risen to the position of governor of Egypt, did not immediately recognize his brothers, but soon noticed that Benjamin was present. Joy and pain are intertwined in this reunion as Joseph, looking at Benjamin, sees not only his younger brother, but also a representation of his own story of loss and betrayal. Benjamin's presence was crucial for the resolution of the family story, as he symbolized the continuity of Rachel's lineage and, consequently, Joseph's emotional connection to his past. The relationship between Joseph and Benjamin was marked by a sense of protection. After Rachel's loss, Joseph may have seen Benjamin as a way to preserve his mother's memory. The reunion provided not only a moment of joy, but also an opportunity for Joseph to reflect on his own journey and the bonds that united him to his family. The emotion of this reunion is palpable, especially when considering the context of betrayal that preceded these events. While his brothers were aware of the guilt they carried for their past actions, Benjamin's presence brought to the surface feelings of love and responsibility. Joseph, in his position of power, faced a dilemma: to reveal his identity and risk Benjamin's safety, or use the moment to explore the true change of heart in his brothers. This tension created an atmosphere of expectation and uncertainty, where every decision could have profound consequences. Benjamin, in turn, also experienced an emotional whirlwind. He was surrounded by men who, although his brothers, were also strangers to him, as he did not know the story that linked them to Joseph. This complexity adds layers to the reunion, where brotherly love is tested amidst hurt and regrets. What could have been a moment of celebration becomes a test of character for all involved, especially when Joseph decides to implement a series of tests to assess the sincerity of his brothers. This reunion not only redefines family relationships, but also sets a new course for Israel's history. Benjamin's presence is not just symbolic. It represents the hope of a united future where the wounds of the past can be healed through love and forgiveness. Benjamin's role in this reunion is, therefore, central to the narrative, as he becomes the link that unites the brothers and, by extension, the very story of the nation of Israel. Joseph's tests. The tests that Joseph imposed on his brothers are a fascinating and intriguing aspect of the narrative. He wanted not only to know if his brothers had changed, but also to assess how far they were willing to go to protect Benjamin, whom he saw as a symbol of the family's hope. By accusing Benjamin of theft, Joseph was testing his brothers' loyalty and forcing them to confront their past failures. This strategy reveals Joseph's deep wisdom, who, despite having suffered greatly, was willing to give his brothers a chance for redemption. When Joseph accused Benjamin, the immediate reaction of his brothers was despair. They united in defense of their younger brother, showing that, despite their previous failures, they were now willing to protect the family. This moment is powerful because it demonstrates the transformation that had occurred in the hearts of the brothers. Instead of turning against Benjamin, as they had done with Joseph years ago, they were now willing to sacrifice their own freedom to save him. This change of character is fundamental to the narrative, as it reflects emotional and spiritual growth. Additionally, Joseph's test served as a mirror for the brothers, forcing them to confront their own actions. The accusation of theft was not just an attempt to preserve Benjamin, it was an opportunity for them to recognize the gravity of what they had done in the past. The guilt and remorse they carried now became evident, and the transformation that occurred in their hearts was palpable. This process of self-assessment is essential for forgiveness and reconciliation, as it is from this point that they can truly understand the suffering they caused. The tension in the story increases as the situation unfolds. The brothers, realizing that Benjamin could be condemned, came together in a plea for justice and protection, revealing the depth of the love they now felt for him. This unity is a clear sign that forgiveness and change are possible, even after years of hurt. It is a moment when the past is confronted, but also a moment of hope, where the possibility of a better future begins to shine. In the end, Joseph's tests are not just a means of evaluation, but also a tool for transformation and redemption. By placing his brothers in a position of vulnerability, he offers them the chance to correct their mistakes and learn to value family. Through this process, they not only reunite, but also become stronger and more united, laying the foundation for what will become the nation of Israel. Benjamin, as the son of sorrow and now the son of hope, becomes a symbol of this journey of transformation. Jacob's prophecy about Benjamin. When it came time to bless his sons, Jacob made powerful and prophetic declarations that would reverberate through generations. When it was Benjamin's turn, he described him as a ravenous wolf. This image is not just poetic, but carries deep symbolism about the nature and future of the tribe that would emerge from his lineage. The metaphor of the wolf suggests strength, ferocity, and the ability to lead and conquer. This depiction would be a foreshadowing of the qualities the tribe of Benjamin was expected to exhibit, standing out among the other tribes of Israel. Jacob's choice of words was not random. Benjamin was the youngest son, but his position did not make him less important. On the contrary, his role in Israel's history would be significant, and Jacob's description of him as a wolf foretold a brave and fearless tribe. This strength would be visible in the battles the Benjamites would face throughout history. The bravery and determination of his descendants would be recognized, and Jacob's prophecy served as both a warning and encouragement for those who would come after him. Moreover, this blessing from Jacob also reflects the duality of human nature. The wolf, though associated with ferocity, is also a symbol of protection and loyalty. The tribe of Benjamin, therefore, would not only be a destructive force, but also a defender of its people. The wolf organizes itself in packs, just as the Benjamites would unite to protect their heritage and their brothers. This unity and strength in the community are aspects that permeate the narrative of the tribes of Israel. Another interesting aspect is that the tribe of Benjamin not only excelled in battles, but also in crucial moments of Israel's history. With Jacob's prophecy, we can glimpse a tribe that would not only fight, but also occupy places of leadership and influence. The symbolic strength of the wolf is reflected in historical figures such as King Saul, who came from this lineage and became the first king of Israel, and the Apostle Paul, who transformed Christianity and exerted influence throughout the world. Over time, Jacob's prophecy would become a cornerstone of the identity of the tribe of Benjamin. Those who identified as Benjamites carried with them the promise of strength and bravery, shaping not only their own lives, but also the history of a people who, despite their difficulties, always sought victory and justice. Lineage and historical significance. The tribe of Benjamin, formed from Benjamin's lineage, became one of the 12 tribes of Israel, each with its characteristics and peculiarities. The Benjamites were known for their combat skills and prowess as warriors. This strong and courageous reputation persisted over the centuries, shaping the tribe's identity and influencing biblical narratives. The courage and bravery of the Benjamites served as examples for the other tribes and contributed to the building of Israel's military history. One of the most notable aspects of the tribe of Benjamin is its contribution of important historical figures. King Saul, Israel's first king, was a Benjamite, and his rise to the throne brought a new chapter to the history of the Hebrew people. Saul, at the same time, symbolized the hopes and struggles of the tribe, being a charismatic leader who, despite his flaws, left a deep legacy. The fact that he came from the tribe of Benjamin highlights the importance of this lineage in the formation of the Israelite nation. Another notable descendant of the tribe of Benjamin is the Apostle Paul, a central figure in Christianity. His Benjamite origin is not just a biographical detail, it is part of a broader narrative that shows how the tribe influenced the expansion of Christianity. Paul, with his letters and missionary journeys, helped lay the foundations of the Christian faith, becoming one of the most influential apostles. Paul's trajectory illustrates how the strength and characteristics of the tribe of Benjamin manifested significantly in religious history. Moreover, the tribe of Benjamin also faced challenges and crises. During periods of conflict and division among the tribes, the Benjamites stood out but also suffered. The account of the civil war in Judges, where the tribe of Benjamin was nearly wiped out, is an example of the fragility that can accompany bravery. This complex narrative reflects the duality of the tribe's history, showing that its strength was not free from challenges and tragedies. Finally, the historical significance of the tribe of Benjamin goes beyond its individual contributions. The history and identity of the Benjamites are intertwined with the narrative of Israel as a whole. The bravery, leadership, and resilience of Benjamin's descendants shaped not only their tribe, but also the destiny of a people seeking their land and identity. Benjamin's lineage remains a vital part of the biblical story, inspiring reflections on courage, loyalty, and the role each one plays in building a greater community. And so, as we explore Benjamin's story, we realize that he is not just a character, but a symbol of transformation and redemption. His journey, marked by the pain and love of Jacob, invites us to reflect: how do our childhood experiences shape who we are? Benjamin, the son of sorrow, became the son of the right hand, an example of how life can surprise us. But what about you? Have you ever stopped to think about the meaning of the names in your life? What legacy do you wish to leave? Benjamin's story teaches us that even in the midst of tragedy, it is possible to find hope and strength. Now, we want to know, which aspect of Benjamin's life touched you the most? And how does it relate to your journey? If this content resonated with you, subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so you don't miss more stories that can impact your life. Share this video with friends and family, and together, let's spread this message of faith and resilience. In upcoming videos, we will delve into other characters who, like Benjamin, reveal the beauty and complexity of the biblical story. Stay tuned.